Well, I want to introduce you now to someone who is very passionate. Ruslan Kogan, he came to Australia in 1989. He was 5 years old. His parents had $90 to their name. Yesterday, Russell debuted on the BRW's Young Rich list at number 8 with an amassed fortune of $20 million. It's a real rags to riches story. And Ruslan Kogan joins us now from Melbourne. Good morning to you, Ruslan. How are you?
Good morning, Kath. Good, thanks. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Now, I've got to start off with asking you, how much do you think that your predicament as a young kid coming out here to Australia with what I imagine, by your own admissions, poor family, poor parents, has gotten you to where you are today?
Well, it definitely brings out the fight in you and the hunger. I remember as a little kid, every time I wanted footy cards or candy, the answer from my parents was always, no, we can't afford it, sorry. So I knew from a very young age that if I wanted something, I'm going to have to earn it myself. So it does make you more hungry for success.
Now, Kogan, it was very grassroots business for you. You started in your parents' garage. Can you tell us how it took off?
Yeah, well, you know, when I started Kogan, people were saying no one will ever shop online, no one will ever buy TVs online. And it started with, you know, I had $0 in the bank account and just a dream that, you know, people are smart enough to weigh up the specs of things online and do their research online and make a purchase. And everyone at the time said no one's going to buy TV online without seeing it. And, you know, I just had the vision and I said, well, look, if people see the savings involved, the great price, and they do their research online, then they'll make a purchase. And this was 6 years ago. We were the first company in Australia to sell TVs online, and it's just taken off from there. And now we've sold, you know, close to 1 million products, and, you know, everyone's shopping online these days.
Absolutely. And Ruslan, I am one of your very happy customers. I bought a Kogan a couple of months ago and couldn't have been happier. What has it been all smooth sailing?
Well, no business is smooth sailing. There's always challenges along the way and things to overcome. You know, even for us from day one, Kogan was competing against some of the biggest brands in the world. On one hand, being a manufacturer, we were competing against the likes of Sony, Samsung and LG. On the other hand, we were competing against massive retailers like JB Hi-Fi and Harvey Norman. They've all got billion-dollar marketing budgets. So it's been quite a challenge, but, you know, our view from day one is that the customer is smart, the customer will make the right choice. You just have to provide the right product in the market at the best price and let the consumer decide. So,
Ruslan, before we go, what tips would you give to any budding entrepreneurs out there trying to make it big?
Yeah, look, I get a lot of entrepreneurs come to me all the time with business ideas to see what I think of the idea. And, you know, I run every idea past 2 tests. One is what's the competitive advantage and what's the value add to the consumer. 50% of ideas can very clearly articulate those 2 advantages, and I say that's an awesome business, go ahead. Then I see that person 6 months later and I say, how's your business going? And so many of them look at me strange and they say, what business? So the best advice I could give to anyone is the advice that Nike's been printing on T-shirts for years, and that's just do it.
Good on you, Ruslan. Yep. You're an inspiration. I think it's a wonderful story. Congratulations and all the very best for the future.
Cheers, thank you.
You know, that is so right. Bill Gates used to say, don't introduce me to anyone else with a good idea, only introduce me to people who do things, who get things done.
Absolutely.
All right, here's a question for you. The most famous person to have created an empire from their parents' garage. We'll give you the answer to that shortly.
Ruslan Kogan's giving it a go.
He is giving it a go.